What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hopefully you are having a wonderful Friday, as I am, just because it is my day off and that means I get to work on the 1J. That is right. I just finished uploading the drift footage from like 2 weeks ago. I'm really slow, I'm sorry, but work's crazy, you know, just family and everything, and I just, editing sometimes it's hard for me to get to. So I'm kind of behind on a couple videos. So yeah, I'm just behind. That is what it is. So hopefully I can get another update out tomorrow and the next day and kind of catch up. But either way, they're coming. But we are getting back to the 1J. So from the last video, I painted, I don't know the order, but I painted the valve covers, and I'll just show you real quick. They came out fire. Like, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better finish. Look at that pearl and the flake and everything glistening. So I know it's so hard to see, but it is just such a nice color. It looks a little more blue. I probably put a little too much clear coat on with the pearl, but hey, it is what it is. It's gonna be a pretty close match to the engine bay, which is right there. So yeah, whatever. Either way, it freshened it up. It looks amazing. I'm extremely happy. We also got all our stuff done up front and everything like that, minus a few little minor things, which we're gonna tidy up today. So in this video, what I wanna get accomplished today is I wanna get the valve cover gaskets installed. You know, this is all just sat here for the video and the pictures and whatnot, but I wanna get the, the valve cover gaskets installed. I wanna get the motor mount brackets installed. I wanna get the power steering reinforcement installed. I just want to finish the motor up completely and then maybe get to working on the chassis. This finally came, which is what I've been waiting for. And what this is a new gasket for our oil filter housing, which goes right in there. We needed this because I did not know I was going to have to remove the oil filter housing to get the motor mount bracket off, so I could put on the Excessive motor mount brackets. So here's our package from Excessive Manufacturing or Motorsports, or whatever it is, I don't know. Either way, we got some goodies for them. We got our power steering reinforcement. We got our engine base plates. We got hardware, which is nice because the hardware, it's manufacturing, obviously. Okay. We got hardware, which is nice. It comes sealed in a bag with the instructions and everything that we need. So we got that. More hardware. And our other motor mount plate. So the goal is to install these and finish the engine so that it is ready to go. A couple other things we did. I had my daughter help me. She actually wanted to paint this. She got a couple runs, but whatever. She actually painted my brake booster. It looks a lot better. So it is what it is. It's not perfect, but yeah, I mean, I just thought it was nice that she wanted to help and do something, so I had her paint this, and it no longer looks extremely rusty, but hey, she's learning and never really painted anything before, so it got a couple runs in it, no big deal. And then she also painted my crank pulley. She did better on this one. Still got a little run in there, but it's a crank pulley, so I'm not really stressing it. And then I put my fingerprints in it when it wasn't totally dry. Yeah, dumbass me. Whatever. So that's on the agenda today, is basically finish up the engine and, I don't know, work on the chassis. I'd like to get the wheel wells undercoated so we can start getting the suspension in, because I'm pretty much to the point almost where I want to drop the engine transmission and do some measuring for the drive shaft and everything. So let's get to work. All right, guys, so there's step one. That was really easy. I mean, undo some bolts, put a bracket on, and re-bolt it back on. So that was great. Fit like glove. I don't see any issues with it. So yeah, shout out them. Works great. So now we're gonna move on to installing these motor mount brackets. I'm not sure if these are supposed to be labeled left or right or anything, or if they're just yeah, I don't know, maybe they go on only a certain way. I figured they'd be labeled, but they're not. So let's see. Yeah, I'll just have to look at them and see which one goes where. But these look really nice. They look like zinc coated or something like that, so that should help them not rust, which is nice. And they look like they can adjust forward and back, which is good, so that you can get your engine position exactly where you want it, which may be helpful for me considering that I'm using a BMW transmission, and maybe coming forward a little bit will help, or going back a little bit will help, who knows, but that'll be really nice. So I'm gonna do what all men do, and I'm gonna open this up and read the instructions and get my hardware out of here, because it looks like that's all my bolts for these motor mount brackets. So we're gonna see if it helps identify which one goes where, and then we will go from there. All right, there's one bracket installed, and the instructions say that they are side specific and that it should slot towards the rear on the mount bracket. So yeah, so this should be the left side, and then the right side will be slightly different. But while we're over here, we're gonna go ahead and tackle reinstalling our oil filter housing now, and hopefully, I'm hoping if I have to make any adjustments that I'll be able to access these bolts, which it appears I will be able to actually, with the oil filter housing installed. So this is our big bolt that mounts our oil housing onto the block. And here is our oil filter housing with the oil cooler, the factory oil cooler. So we have this gasket O-ring in here, which we're going to remove because we got a new one. We're going to put on our new O-ring, which is looking fancy, and then we're going to reinstall this back onto the engine, which is kind of hard to do while holding the camera and everything, but we'll get it. And now we're going to screw this on here and tighten her up, and we should be good. And now our housing's back on, and we are able to get to our screw or bolt if we have to, and everything. We got to put our clamps back on our coolant hoses, and there we go. So I'm gonna get this tightened up and everything like that, and then we're gonna move to mounting the motor mount bracket on the other side. Alright guys, so this is the factory motor mount right here, this big hunk of lug of rubber, and in here is the bracket that we have to remove. Now this is gonna be interesting with the turbo here. I'm gonna try to do it without removing the turbo drain or anything like that, because I really don't want to have to deal with replacing more gaskets. So there's 4 bolts that I'm gonna have to replace or remove and everything like that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get in there and try to get those out. So once I get this out, we can install our excessive manufacturing bracket, and we will be one step closer, so I'm super excited about that. So yeah, I'm gonna get that off, and then we'll get this last bracket on, and then we can just start tidying a few other little things up with the engine. So I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, so I got it out, and I was able to do it without removing the drain pipe. I'm not really gonna explain how, because it's really kind of hard, and if I were you, I would plan on ordering this gasket and just removing the drain tube and this washer for this. Once again, I didn't want to have to order more parts, so I basically loosened this bottom bolt after a lot of finagling to get all the other bolts out, and then once I had about a 1/2 inch, I ended up cutting it and everything. So basically I got in there with a sawzall and just cut it, and then unscrewed it from the block to get it out, so I didn't have to remove those drain lines. So yeah, now the excessive instructions say that the mount's going to go to the forwardmost location, not the original that the mount came out of. So it's going to use these 2 holes. Now here's my first gripe with excessive manufacturing. They state it's going to use the forwardmost holes. So why doesn't it fit? Why don't they clearance it more for the drain tube? Because now I either have to grind into the bracket or try to bend the tube out of the way. Now most likely I'm going to go ahead and grind into the bracket, but now I'm going to be losing some of that nice zinc coating on there that's going to prevent it from rusting. So, excessive. If you are stating that you have to use the holes, make it fit to the holes. Come on now, what the fuck? Alright, rant's over. I'm going to get this to fit. Alright guys, so we got our motor mount bracket on, and all I did, if you can see there, is I basically took the grinder, there you go, I basically took the grinder, buzzed out a spot on the bracket so that it would clear the line, and then just kind of put a wrench behind the line and gave it a quick little pull just to kind of clearance it a little bit, and everything. So now it fits. I don't understand why they don't make this fit from the manufacturer. Honestly, it doesn't make sense. If you know it's gonna go there and everything like that, just recess that edge right there just another quarter inch or so, and you'd be fine. Or honestly, just bevel the edge or something. Just, you know, put a nice 45-degree bevel. It probably would have cleared. Who knows? It's a small little thing, but it just kind of sucks because, you know, they were nice zinc coated, pretty metal, and now there's a bare open metal spot where I grinded it, which could develop rust, and then, you know, whatever. I'm just, you know, probably nitpicking, but other than that, they fit good. They're on there and everything. So now I got to get my drain tube back on, which will be easy. I got to get the alternator back on and everything right here, and so we'll go ahead and do that, and I'll bring you guys back because we're gonna throw the crank pulley on as well, and pretty much the motor will pretty much almost be done. I just got valve cover gaskets to do. So yeah, let me get some of this stuff knocked out, and we're just making good progress. Good progress. Well guys, I will say, here is the motor the way it sits right now. I got the drift motion pulley kit installed, I got the crank pulley installed, I got the bracket installed, all the motor mount brackets installed. Everything's going really well. Really well. Except for two things. Two things that are really frustrating me. One, this pretty little thing called a thermostat. So apparently somebody at Rock Auto mistaked a THM011 for a TMT011. So they sent the wrong one. Shit happens, no big deal. I already went on Rock Auto and told them, and they're meant to be shipping me a correct one and blah blah blah, which, you know, honestly I've never had this happen, but it said there's no need to ship back the old part, but hold it for 2 weeks in case they request it. So they could possibly be just sending me a replacement, and I may not even have to pay for the shipping to send this one back, which would be pretty awesome. You know, I have to wait a few days, but it would be pretty awesome. But problem number two, I must have been mistaken when I looked up and did some research. Apparently, the 2JZ GE VVTi valve cover gaskets do not work for the 1JZ VVTi. So, all I needed to do was change the valve cover gasket and thermostat, and this engine was done. I was moving on. So now I have to wait. I have to order those, which is okay because I have to place an order with Drift Motion anyways, and I think they have the gaskets. I'm going to pay more money, and I already bought the ones, but I can use them on the wife's 2JZ, so I'll just keep them. But it just kind of sucks because I hate like being so close. I mean, literally so close to having something wrapped up and being able to just put it on the back burner until I get back to it. Like, you know, the engine was going to be done. All it needed was pulled off the stand, the rear main change, and then the flywheel and adapter plate and all that shit put on when I was ready to put the transmission together with it. So it could have just sat there. But now I'm going to have to come back to it again to change the thermostat and the valve cover gaskets. So I'm frustrated. Either way, I think I'm going to go ahead and start taping up the engine bay for the undercoating. I'm probably not going to get to it today. It's already getting late, 4 o'clock, so I got a couple more hours and it's going to take me. In case you're curious, we got some gaping holes that we got to tape up before I can undercoat. So the idea is, you see the paint where I painted, like where I did some metal work, I was just painting it with some paint. But I want to undercoat all this, and I have these big gaping holes and all these bolt holes and everything that's going to ruin my paint job. Like, I already messed up, and if you look through here, you'll see white overspray. So I kind of messed up, and I got white overspray all over this because I forgot about this damn hole when I was painting the whatever you want to call that area right there. So, yeah, I cleaned it up a little bit over there because the same thing happened. I didn't notice until I was done with both sides. I just wasn't paying attention. Lapse in judgment. But yeah, so the idea is to cover these holes all up everywhere so I can get in here and I can undercoat all this in here so it'll look better, and then I can put the suspension back together. Alright guys, so it's a start. We have started laying some tape throughout the engine bay. Yeah, the one reason why I really didn't want to do this. So now I still got these big gaping holes that I gotta figure out. So I gotta find my paper. I have a roll of paper somewhere. I gotta find that and then pretty much mask off the big gaping holes for the fenders, and then we can start shooting some undercoat on the and the wheel wells and everything, and hopefully we can get that done here soon and let it dry overnight so that maybe tomorrow we can assemble some stuff. But what I'm going to be using is this 3M undercoat. Part number is 08881. This is I think it's a little different than the normal like Rust-Oleum and stuff. I got this at Napa. I think it's more towards the professional 1K type setup than just the normal cheapy 1K setup that you can get at like AutoZone or Walmart or something. I don't know. I'm hoping it is. It seems to be a little bit more durable. than the normal Rust-Oleum crap you get for like $4 a can or whatever. I got this on a sale they had at Napa. It was like probably like 10 bucks a can. All right guys, so we got the engine bay pretty much all taped up so that we can do the undercoating. So yeah, I'm pretty much going to undercoat all this stuff underneath here and everything. So I'm gonna shake this can up and we're gonna get started. All right guys, I will say I really like this stuff. It seemed to go on really well and everything. It's a nice texture. I don't know about the durability yet. I know it may be kind of hard to see. I'll get a light here in a second. I put 2 coats on both wheel wells. The coverage looks pretty good. Hopefully that's enough. It looks really nice. Super stoked. Kind of debating if I want to go get some more and do another coat before I pull all the masking off. I don't know yet. I don't have any more 3M. I used both cans. I think it'll be enough, honestly. Looking at it, I think that'll be enough coverage. I'm really happy with the way that looks. That looks so nice. All right, guys, so it's a little later than I wanted. I'm hot, sweaty, and tired. But we got the engine almost done, minus those mistakes. I will say, while I was running getting food with my daughter, Rock Auto emailed me and said my new part has been shipped. So they are doing pretty good at hopefully sending me the correct thermostat, so that's good. I still need to order the valve cover gaskets. I'm missing, I can't find my old gaskets, but either way I'll find them. But we got the wheel wells coated. So hopefully this will dry overnight, and then tomorrow we can put the subframe and the coilovers and the lower control arms and the knuckles and get the suspension back together, which is super exciting because, man, I haven't had a front end in this car in forever. So I'm really happy about that. So other than that, please like the video, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, make sure you got the notification bell turned on. I don't always post updates, and I know I'm not very regular, I don't have a set schedule or anything like that, but if you do like to follow along and stuff, if you have that notification bell on, you will get updated when I do actually upload. So like I said, I'm behind on uploads. I'm going to try to work on that and get some more out over the next couple days. But I will see you on the next one. Stay tuned. Hopefully, we'll be dropping the JZ in real soon to do some test fitting. Later!